Hey there, happy people. Welcome back to my kitchen. So it's that time of the year again. It's cake, it's baking, it's cooking all these delicious meal. Like I do that every day. But today we are going to be making some cake, fruit cake and sponge cake. And I'm going to keep it the Guyanese style. I am going to incorporate some twist to it. So, it's just to bring back that nostalgic taste, that warmness of your childhood. So we are going to be doing that today, or try to accomplish that today. But I do have a little bit of twist to my fruitcake. So, and my fruitcake, um, I'm not adding any alcohol in it, so it's going to be different. So you can try it, and everything will be prepared on the same day. Nothing has to be soaked, nothing has to, incorporate flavors. It's going to be incorporated as we go. So stay tuned and let's get started. All right, so the ingredients I'll be using today for my fruit cake, I have cherries, I have prunes, and I have some raisins. So with the raisins, I just washed it because I always leave that sandy stuff in there. So I wash mine. I have golden cream butter. We're keeping it traditional, so I am trying to incorporate this. I usually use stick butter. You can use whatever butter you have on hand, but today I'm going in with the golden cream. And we're going to be adding Coke to this. I have some molasses, and I'm using brown sugar today, lightly brown sugar, because the brown sugar have more of a molasses caramel taste to it, so we want to add it in here. And we have a dozen of eggs. I have some oranges over here. We have mixed essence, we have baking powder, we have nutmeg, and the oranges. So we're going to use the orange zest and the orange juice as well. So I want to get this all in my food processor. So I'm gonna just get all the fruits all mixed up and out the way. So I am going to work on the raisins first. I want to get that like chopped up and going before I add the other fruits to it. And those are chopped up, so now I'm going to add my prunes in here. And my cherries. And the cherries had a little bit of that juice. That's great, extra flavor. So we're gonna add that as well. All right, and that's it, because we want to leave it a little bit chunky. So I'm gonna get this emptied out and ready. So we get the fruit ready. Guys, you can use whatever fruits you want. Back home, I usually would use star fruit or five finger in mine, but you can use whatever fruits you want. I know they have the green rinds and stuff. You just add what you need to add in here. Some people put walnuts in there, crushed up walnuts. Walnuts is not my thing in food. I like to eat it by itself. So feel free to add whatever you want to add to it. Play around with the cake. That's what we do. So over here, everything is red, of course, holiday. So I'm going in with my room temperature butter. I haven't put this in no fridge or anything. So, and honestly, when it comes to measurement, this bad boy, this compact, this bowl, this is our measuring cup today for the flour and the sugar and the fruits. So, right. Oh, we're gonna keep this because that's still flavor in there. Everything will be wiped out. So I'm going to add my sugar. If I can find it there. So here we have 1 bowl of sugar, or 1 compact of sugar. So we're gonna add that in there. And I did receive a bowl, so I'm just gonna break it up. A few balls actually. Gotta wash my hands. All right, so I just want to fold the sugar into the butter, just to get, not to be too messy when I put my hand mixer on. And I'm using a hand mixer. If you want to put it on the stand mixer, go ahead. I just feel like we're going to keep it a traditional way because not everybody has a hand mixer. So you just want to incorporate that sugar and the butter together. Let them get to know each other a bit before the relationship started. So that's what it's going to be looking like. Of course, I'm going to clean that off right there. And I'll be right back with my mixer. All right, guys, so we have the sugar and the butter. So now I'm just gonna mix that up. And as this is mixing up here, I can smell that rich fragrance of molasses from, I guess, that natural caramelization from the brown sugar. So I am going to go in on the sides. Make sure I get all those sides that didn't mix up together as yet. Just turn it around. And in here, I want to add my nutmeg. I'm adding my nutmeg in here so as we mix it, it releases its flavor. And I'm going to also add my orange zest in here too. Gonna add that amount. And I'm going to go in with 1 orange. All right, and there we have it. So we're gonna go back in with my cake mixer. So you want it to look like that. Now I'm gonna get my eggs cracking. So here I'm going to incorporate my eggs little by little. So I don't have all 12 here. I have about 4 more to crack. time. So I'm going to crack the remaining of my eggs, but I'll be adding my mixed essence right now. Get all that eggy flavor out. So I have my 3 more eggs. It was, sorry. So I'm coming in with my flour next. All right, we have the eggs beaten along with the sugar and the butter. I add the vanilla, and I also add nutmeg and orange rind. Here I go with the butter, with the flour. So I'm gonna add a little at a time, so that way we don't have an over clump going on. And then we will add a little bit more, and we're gonna leave that much in there. I think I want to fold this in because honestly, made a smoky mess. I don't want a smoky mess around my kitchen. Just want to incorporate the flour so it can get all wet. And I'm gonna do all of it together. Incorporate, mix, let all these ingredients get to know each other so they can hang out and chill, you know, later on. I call this the get along moment. Everybody get to see if they're gonna get along. And they seem to be friends now. Look at that. So I'm just gonna ship that off. Wipe out your spoon. Because you need everybody to, you know, do their thing. Let me wash my hands. All right, now that I have everybody all together, I'm gonna go in to mix this up. All right, so here we want to move that aside. I'm gonna bring in my fruit. I think we can eyeball this to get that amount. If not, you guys use one of this bowl. I think I want to clean it out. Get all my ingredients in there. All right, so let's see. Let's fill this up. My butter bowl. I'm gonna fill it up. I mean, this is what my grandmother used to do. This was her measurement for cakes. This is considered, you know, a pound of cake with the pound. Using this butter bowl, this is how you get your pound. All right, that's about it. But guess what? My hand is always heavy, so why not add more fruits? All right, so I'm going to add that in, just like that. Then we're gonna go in slowly. This is why you don't go with cordless cordless mixer, because it'll leave you halfway. Now I gotta put it on the charge. So I'm gonna finish this with hand because pretty much everything is like you know, combined and all together. And I'm gonna put this bad boy back on to charge. Leave me halfway. Anywho, the mixing shall continue. All right, so we have our fruits in here, we have our flour. So now I'm gonna be a little bit of a heavy hander on, give me 1 second. So here we're going to go in with the baking powder. I'm using, you know, a soup spoon, but you can use a one of those regular spoon that you eat with. So I'm going to go in with 2 of those, 2 and a little bit. You want to get this all mixed up in here. And guys, we're gonna have to add more flour to this because, you know, well, the spoon is stand up, but I want to add a little more because I'm going to be adding the Coke, not the whole Coke, of course. As a kid, I used to love mixing a cake because that means I get to chatty out that bowl, eat out all the batter from inside. So I'm going to go in with my molasses because I wanted to give it a brown color. So I'll put some of that in there. Whoever fish with molasses and brine to catch fish. You know, before you throw your cast net, you just mix up molasses and brine, make it into a little ball, and then drop it in there. Then go back around with your cast net. I used to enjoy that. Or when Lee Swat is now coming in, you go pick up fish. And you can use any type of browning. It don't have to be molasses. I just want to keep it with that molasses barrel kind of taste. And I wanted it a little bit darker. So I'm going to go in with some more. A lot more. And here I'm going to add my Coke to this. I'm going to add that much. Mix it all together. As you can see, pretty much everything is dark. And I want this a little more darker, so keep adding as you go. The darker you want, feel free to make it as dark as you want. So I think this will be it for me. And I'm going to add a little more flour to this, and the reason why is because the Coke has those bubbles in there, so it's going to make it help to make it volumize, so you know your fruits doesn't stick and it looks like your cake fall. You don't want that. There we go. I'm getting my flour. All right, and that's it. That's all we need to do. I'm gonna get my station clean up, and we're gonna pan these and put them into bake. All right, guys, so here I have my station, you know, little bit neat up. So I have my pans ready. So my cake is going to be a little bit of gift. I got these at Dollar Tree. It comes with a lid. It's perfect. So I will be spraying these with some Pam. So just want to get it coated around. Again. And with this, I cut out circles of parchment paper. What I did, I put the pen on the parchment paper, use a pencil, make a circle and cut it out and put it in. I like to have this at the bottom of my pan, so that way no cake sticking or anything. So just put those in. just like that. Feel free to butter your pan. If you don't have the liners, butter your pan and dust it in flour. Do it like that. So here, I'm gonna pour out. Trying not to make a mess. And of course, I did make a mess. So I'm gonna leave a little bit of room so that way you can rise up, but you wanna cram it down there. Let's see if I got this. Ready for that one. Well, I'm going to need another pan. So here you have it, guys. So I have 4 pans of cake. So I'm going to throw this in the oven. I actually have my oven on 350. So we're gonna keep an eye on it. It usually takes about 30 minutes or so. Around that time, you know, you take your toothpick, stick it in there, take it out, make sure nothing is on it. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. So here we have the fruit cake, and now on to the sponge cake. All right guys, so these are finished, our fruit cake, and now I will be putting in our colorful cake over there. So I'll be doing that. All right guys, stay tuned.